Guides, Manuals, Reference, Samples, Manuals, Docker Engine, Installation per distro, Install on Fedora, Install Docker Engine on Fedora. Estimated reading time, 11 minutes. To get started with Docker Engine on Fedora, make sure you meet the prerequisites, then install Docker. Prerequisites. OS requirements. To install Docker Engine, you need the 64-bit version of one of these Fedora versions. Fedora 33, Fedora 34, Fedora 35. Uninstall old versions. Older versions of Docker were called Docker or Docker Engine. If these are installed, uninstall them, along with associated dependencies. $sudo dnf remove docker /docker client /docker client latest /docker common /docker latest /docker latest log rotate /docker log rotate /docker selinux /docker engine selinux /docker engine. It's okay if DNF reports that none of these packages are installed. The contents of /var/lib/docker/, including images, containers, volumes, and networks, are preserved. The Docker Engine package is now called Docker CE. Installation methods. You can install Docker Engine in different ways, depending on your needs. Most users set up Docker's repositories and install from them, for ease of installation and upgrade tasks. This is the recommended approach. Some users download the RPM package and install it manually and manage upgrades completely manually. This is useful in situations such as installing Docker on air-gapped systems with no access to the internet. In testing and development environments, some users choose to use automated convenience scripts to install Docker. Install using the repository. Before you install Docker Engine for the first time on a new host machine, you need to set up the Docker repository. Afterward, you can install and update Docker from the repository. Set up the repository. Install the DNF plugins core package, which provides the commands to manage your DNF repositories, and set up the stable repository. $sudo dnfy install dnf plugins core $sudo dnf config manager /add repo https://download.docker.com/linux/fedoras/docker-ce.repo. Optional, enable the nightly or test repositories. These repositories are included in the docker.repo file above but are disabled by default. You can enable them alongside the stable repository. The following command enables the nightly repository. $sudo dnf config manager set enabled docker CE nightly. To enable the test channel, run the following command. $sudo dnf config manager set enabled docker CE test. You can disable the nightly or test repository by running the dnf config manager command with the set disabled flag. To re-enable it, use the set enabled flag. The following command disables the nightly repository. $sudo dnf config manager set disabled docker CE nightly. Learn about nightly and test channels. Install Docker Engine. Install the latest version of Docker Engine and Containered, or go to the next step to install a specific version. $sudo dnf install docker ce cli containerd.io. If prompted to accept the GPG key, verify that the fingerprint matches 060A61C5 1B55A7F742B77AC52FEB6B621E9F35, and if so, accept it. Got multiple Docker repositories? If you have multiple Docker repositories enabled, installing, or updating without specifying a version in the dnf install or dnf update command always installs the highest possible version, which may not be appropriate for your stability needs. This command installs Docker, but it doesn't start Docker. It also creates a Docker group, however, it doesn't add any users to the group by default. To install a specific version of Docker Engine, list the available versions in the repo, then select and install. List and sort the versions available in your repo. This example sorts results by version number, highest to lowest, and is truncated. $DNF list Docker CE show duplicate sort r Docker CE.x86_64 3:18.09.1-3.fc28 Docker CE stable Docker CE.x86_64 3:18.09.0-3.fc28 Docker CE stable Docker CE.x86_64 18.06.1.ce3.fc28 Docker CE stable Docker CE.x86_64 18.06.0.ce3.fc28 Docker CE stable. The list returned depends on which repositories are enabled, and is specific to your version of Fedora, indicated by the .fc28 suffix in this example. B. Install a specific version by its fully qualified package name, which is the package name, Docker CE, plus the version string, second column, up to the first hyphen, separated by a hyphen, for example, Docker CE 3:18.09.1. $sudo dnfy install Docker CE CLI container d.io. This command installs Docker, but it doesn't start Docker. It also creates a Docker group, however, it doesn't add any users to the group by default. Start Docker. $sudo systemctl start Docker. Verify that Docker Engine is installed correctly by running the Hello World image. $sudo docker run Hello World. This command downloads a test image and runs it in a container. When the container runs, it prints a message and exits. This installs and runs Docker Engine. Use sudo to run Docker commands. Continue to Linux post install to allow non-privileged users to run Docker commands and for other optional configuration steps. Upgrade Docker Engine. To upgrade Docker Engine, follow the installation instructions, choosing the new version you want to install. Install from a package. If you cannot use Docker's repository to install Docker, you can download the .rpm file for your release and install it manually. You need to download a new file each time you want to upgrade Docker Engine. Go to https://download.docker.com/linux/fedora and choose your version of Fedora. Then browse to x86_64/stable/packages/ and download the .rpm file for the Docker version you want to install. Note: to install a nightly or test, pre-release, package, change the word stable in the above URL to nightly or test. Learn about nightly and test channels. Install Docker Engine, changing the path below to the path where you downloaded the Docker package. $sudo dnfy install /path/to/package.rpm. Docker is installed but not started. The Docker group is created, but no users are added to the group. Start Docker. $sudo systemctl start Docker. Verify that Docker Engine is installed correctly by running the Hello World image. $sudo docker run Hello World. This command downloads a test image and runs it in a container. When the container runs, it prints a message and exits. This installs and runs Docker Engine. Use sudo to run Docker commands. Continue to post installation steps for Linux to allow non-privileged users to run Docker commands and for other optional configuration steps. Upgrade Docker Engine. To upgrade Docker Engine, download the newer package file and repeat the installation procedure, using dnfy upgrade instead of dnfy install, and point to the new file. Install using the convenience script. Docker provides a convenience script at get.docker.com to install Docker into development environments quickly and non-interactively. The convenience script is not recommended for production environments, but can be used as an example to create a provisioning script that is tailored to your needs. Also refer to the install using the repository steps to learn about installation steps to install using the package repository. The source code for the script is open source, and can be found in the Docker install repository on GitHub. Always examine scripts downloaded from the internet before running them locally. Before installing, make yourself familiar with potential risks and limitations of the convenience script. The script requires root or sudo privileges to run. The script attempts to detect your Linux distribution and version and configure your package management system for you, and does not allow you to customize most installation parameters. The script installs dependencies and recommendations without asking for confirmation. This may install a large number of packages, depending on the current configuration of your host machine. By default, the script installs the latest stable release of Docker, Containered, and Runk. When using this script to provision a machine, this may result in unexpected major version upgrades of Docker. Always test major upgrades in a test environment before deploying to your production systems. The script is not designed to upgrade an existing Docker installation. When using the script to update an existing installation, dependencies may not be updated to the expected version, causing outdated versions to be used. Tip: preview script steps before running. You can run the script with the dry_run equals 1 option to learn what steps the script will execute during installation. $curl fsslhttps get-docker.sh $dry_run equals 1 get-docker.sh. This example downloads the script from get-docker.com and runs it to install the latest stable release of Docker on Linux. $curl fsslhttps get-docker.sh $sudo sh get-docker.sh executing Docker install script, commit, 7CAE5F8B0-17D657-1F9F52EB840FBC13B2737. Docker is installed. The Docker service starts automatically on Debian-based distributions. On RPM-based distributions, such as CentOS, Fedora, RHEL, or SLES, you need to start it manually using the appropriate systemcll or service command. As the message indicates, non-root users cannot run Docker commands by default. Use Docker as a non-privileged user, or install in rootless mode. The installation script requires root or sudo privileges to install and use Docker. If you want to grant non-root users access to Docker, refer to the post-installation steps for Linux. Docker can also be installed without root privileges, or configured to run in rootless mode. For instructions on running Docker in rootless mode, refer to run the Docker daemon as a non-root user, rootless mode. Install pre-releases. Docker also provides a convenience script at test.docker.com to install pre-releases of Docker on Linux. This script is equivalent to the script at get.docker.com, but configures your package manager to enable the test channel from our package repository, which includes both stable and pre-releases, beta versions, release candidates, of Docker. Use this script to get early access to new releases, and to evaluate them in a testing environment before they are released as stable. To install the latest version of Docker on Linux from the test channel, run $curl fsslhttps test.docker.com test-docker.sh $sudo sh test-docker.sh. Upgrade Docker after using the convenience script. If you installed Docker using the convenience script, you should upgrade Docker using your package manager directly. There is no advantage to rerunning the convenience script, and it can cause issues if it attempts to re-add repositories which have already been added to the host machine. Uninstall Docker Engine. Uninstall the Docker Engine, CLI, and containered packages. $sudo dnf remove docker ce CLI containerd.io. Images, containers, volumes, or customized configuration files on your host are not automatically removed. To delete all images, containers, and volumes, $sudo rmrf/var/lib/docker $sudo rmrf/var/lib/containered. You must delete any edited configuration files manually. Next steps. Continue to post installation steps for Linux. Review the topics in Develop with Docker to learn how to build new applications using Docker. Requirements: apt, installation, fedora, RPM, install, uninstall, upgrade, update. Rate this page. 69. 42. Docker Desktop. Docker Engine. Overview. Install. Installation per distro. Install on CentOS. Install on Debian. Install on Fedora. Install on RHEL. Install on SLES. Install on Ubuntu. Install binaries. Optional post-installation steps. Release notes. Previous versions. Deprecated features. Docker builds. Docker context. Docker scan. Docker compose. Docker hub. Docker subscription. Open source projects. Release notes. Superseded products and tools. Edit this page. Request docs changes. On this page. Prerequisites. OS requirements. Uninstall old versions. Installation methods. Install using the repository. Set up the repository. Install Docker Engine. Upgrade Docker Engine. Install from a package. Upgrade Docker Engine. Install using the convenience script. Install pre-releases. Upgrade Docker after using the convenience script. Uninstall Docker Engine. Next steps. Product offerings. Docker Personal. Docker Pro. Docker Team. Docker Business. Compare subscriptions. Features. Docker Desktop. Docker Hub. Secure software supply chain. Container runtime. Developer tools. Trusted content. Docker product roadmap. Developers. Use cases. Get started. Blog. Community. Open source. Preview